Hello, What Culture? My name is Simon Miller, and you have indeed clicked the button to get my ups and downs from SmackDown. And me saying that every week, it makes me mad. It annoys me. WWE, why did you have to call your program SmackDown? You didn't think about me having a show called Ups and Downs. I don't want to use the word down twice in a sentence. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It makes me sound stupid, and you should have thought about that before you named your program around about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, 1999 was SmackDown. We're getting that wrong? Maybe 2001. The point is, you shouldn't have done it, and now I'm mad. However, this is also a very special episode of SmackDown Ups and Downs because it comes in the week of All In, and you know what All In is, that massive indie event that could very well change the wrestling world, because for my money, it's a bit like the WrestleMania of the independent scene, and you can be a part of it over on Fight TV. Because for only $99, you get to be a part of it, even if you don't drag your ass to the venue, and that's over 25 live shows. Jim Johnson is going to be there, and apparently he's going to be playing some of his classic themes live. There's going to be a roast of Bruce Pritchard and Eric Bischoff. I'm going to do a whole Monday Night Wars debate, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be singing karaoke with Marty Scurll and Bruce Pritchard and Jeff Jarrett. So think of that. That's probably worth $99 alone to see me embarrass my ass all across the world. And you get the all-in weigh-ins as well as 40 plus hours of content, so maybe you should go and look into that. But for now, let's up those downs. SmackDown started off as if I'd taken a load of drugs and then taken my face and just plastered it onto my television. The New Day came out. They were in a crazy mood. I was in a crazy mood. I was ready for it. Gets it up. They were basically there just to celebrate the fact they are once again the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and they had the Stanley Cup with them. I don't really know why they had the Stanley Cup with them, other than, I guess, the New Day are champions, and the Stanley Cup represents champions. You know, hockey, everyone loves hockey in Canada. I don't know, that's a bit lost on me. I'm sure you understand that if you live there, but that would be like if we were watching World of Sport over here in the UK, and I don't know, Rampage Brown just came out with, I don't know, the World Cup. Be like, all right, great. Cheers. The real twist came when they were reminding us that they're not a one-time champion, they're not a two-time champion, they're not a three-time champion, they're not a four-time champion, but they are indeed a five-time champion. And because they are a five-time champion, that summoned Booker T, although he wasn't Booker T, he was King Booker, and he came out there and he was going to anoint the New Day, and he gave them all funny names except for Big E, because Big E didn't need a new name because his name's already Big, as Booker T let him know. Then they all did spinneroonies. This was actually genuinely, it was just a lot of fun. It was a great way to start the show. It didn't mean anything. It was kind of, you ignored it. It didn't affect the rest of the show. Just dumb. Dumb fun. I'm dumb. I like fun. Therefore, you should go watch it. I think you'll have a jolly good time. This then transitioned into our first match of the evening, which was The Bar taking on Gallows and Anderson. And also, wait for it, the returning Colognes. But either way, I'm going to give it an up. New Day were on commentary for this, and they had their own table full of pancakes and all that jazz. And the only thing I was a bit like, was, why are we doing another tag team tournament? We just did another tag team tournament, and we were told the winner of this match was going to go on to face the winner of another triple threat tag team match later on. I mean, what? What are we doing here? Can we not come up with new ways to crown tag team champions? Now, to be fair to WWE, they kind of had to call all of this on the fly after the Bludgeon Brothers got injured. But it was a bit like, if you had been watching wrestling for like 6 to 8 weeks, you're like, man, these people don't have any ideas. Sheamus and Cesaro eventually won, so they do indeed go through to the finals. And thankfully, Primo and Epico not only didn't lose, it was Gallows and Anderson that took the pinfall, but they technically kind of won. Because they hit a double backstabber, and then Cesaro he shimmied his way in there, all secretly, and he stole the pin. So maybe the Colognes are actually going to get a push. Of course they're not. They've come back out of nowhere. There was no vignettes. They were just in a match. No one even really said anything about it. And now, who knows what they do. Maybe they feud with Gallows and Anderson for a while. That'd be all right. At least it's different. Either way, welcome back Primo. Welcome back Epico. It's lovely to see you. We also found out what the other match in the tournament would be, and I know a minute ago I said it was this evening. It's not. It's next week, and it is going to be Rusev and Aiden English taking on the Usos, taking on Sanity, and that's what we discovered here, because Rusev, Lana, and Aiden English were backstage with Paige, and Paige was like, here's the news, and Rusev was like, oh, brilliant, thanks, Lana, and Lana was like, no, don't thank me, babe, thank Aiden English, and everything is all good and fine and dandy in the world of Rusev Day. Get it up. Now, of course, they will lose this match next week because of Aiden English. And then Rusev, you're in a tough position. What do you do? Because in one hand, you wouldn't have been in it to begin with without your mate. But if he then cost you that opportunity, well, then he's cost you an opportunity. So what's more important? Is it the thought or is it the consequence? getting deep here up on ups and downs. SmackDown then went really weird because Jeff Hardy came out to cut a promo on Randy Orton, and I didn't understand one damn word he actually said, but whatever, gets it up. Jeff said the feud with Orton had changed the chemistry in his brain and he felt reborn. I don't understand. Why does someone else sticking their finger in your ear make you feel reborn? I think you need to look into that personally. And he was just super mad at the Viper. He even had RKO written across his face. Randy then walked down the aisle and made this even stranger, where he said that he's here to take Jeff's identity. And look, Orton, that's fine. If you want to commit that crime, you can, but you don't tell people. It's called fraud. He was then about to say that all Hardy needs to worry about was the RKO, but somebody had scripted Jeff the line to jump in with no. So Randy Orton went RK and Jeff Hardy went no. It was terrible down. But the upside of all of this is that yes, Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton are going to compete in a Hell in a Cell match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And the reason I like that is simple. I've seen in loads of interviews Jeff always saying the one thing he'd like is to be able to compete in this stipulation bout. And now he's got his wish, and I imagine these two, given that they are pretty damn good wrestlers, are going to do a pretty damn good job. Renee Young then interviewed Carmella in the back, and she told her she doesn't care about Charlotte, she doesn't care about Becky Lynch and what they're up to, she only cares about winning her women's championship back, and that's what she's focused on, and she's going to do it later this evening. Then R-Truth turned up, and he did the whole, oh, I'm going to fight Carmella thing, and Ty Dillinger was there to try and explain why that wasn't going to happen. Now, I like R-Truth. I think he's really funny and I enjoy him, especially his little Jimmy skits back in the day. But I'm sorry, just getting it down. It's run its course. And now we get to a very difficult situation because on last week's Ups and Downs, I said WWE, if you prove the Naomi versus Iconics thing wasn't just a hey, something to do on SmackDown, I would retract the down I gave it and give it an up. Now on this week's SmackDown, indeed, we had Billie Kay versus Naomi, but I'm still confused. It ended, of course, when Peyton Royce got involved. She just kicked Naomi in the back when the referee wasn't looking, and that allowed Kay to get the win. You've got to assume the narrative is going to play out when Naomi says, hey, I need a tag team partner of my own to balance the odds. And unfortunately, there's only one name I can think of. And that, of course, would be Asuka, who apparently doesn't appear on TV anymore. She hasn't been on television for weeks, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Asuka and Naomi versus the Iconics. We can do so much more with Asuka. Remember where she was at WrestleMania? And now we're about to throw her to the wolves. However, I am a man of my word. I said as long as you made this a thing, I would give it an up. Therefore, it gets an up. You held me to ransom, WWE, and now I'm coming after your jewels. I don't even know what that means, but I presume you're a big corporation, you probably got jewels, and I'm coming to steal them. Damn it, I just did what Orton did. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Make sure there's not extra security around your jewels. It was then time for The Miz and Brie Bella to come out and continue to promote their match against The Miz and Maurice at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and you know what we've got to talk about to begin with. The fact that, yes, Brie Bella now apparently is on Raw and SmackDown, which is fine, other than the fact I have to hear that damn start of her entrance music now twice a week. Now, this is the last time I'm going to do it, because then I'm going to stop talking about it, because I don't talk about stuff that I hate, but I cannot handle Brie Mode anymore. It sounds weird. And the weirder thing than that is that some people actually come at me and they say, Simon, don't insult the way it goes, Brie Mode. What are you talking about? It's music. I mean, admittedly, I'm getting mad at music, but you can't get mad at me for getting mad at music. What do we even talk about anymore? The point is that gets it down. Right, back on point. Daniel Bryan basically just ran down The Miz here and said he was a terrible actor because last week he couldn't even act like a tough guy. He hid behind his wife and eventually got punched in the face by Brie Bella. And then Bryan let us know that when he saw that, he thought it was really hot. So thanks for that, yes man. I like to know what turns you on. I mean, I don't, to be honest, but now I do know, and that information's in my brain. That, of course, is going to go down in a few weeks, but before then, Andrade Cien Almas and Selena Vega came down. They said, look, Daniel Bryan, look, Brie Bella, we don't like you, and therefore, we should have a match between Almas and Bryan right now. Daniel Bryan agreed, and then it got a bit strange again. He called out Paige, going, hey, Paige, she's the GM, I can't do that anymore, I retired from that position, but the GM can. And then there was nothing for ages, and when Paige did come out, she was all out of breath. So either one, this was a very cool idea by WWE and made it feel fresh, original, and like the show was live, or two, Paige actually forgot she was supposed to come out and had to run. Anyway, we're getting the match right here, right now, Andrade Cien Almas versus Daniel Bryan. Getting up. This was actually a really good match, and Vega more than held up his end of the bargain until, of course, you know how it ends. You know how it ends. The Miz and Maurice came out, they attacked Daniel Bryan, which meant technically Daniel Bryan won via DQ. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this, this kind of plants the seeds and means later on maybe we can do a proper Andrade Cien Almas and Daniel Bryan feud. And after seeing this, I would also like to watch and view that feud. It ended with Maryse hitting a DDT on Brie Bella and The Miz hitting Daniel Bryan with his skull-crushing finale. And now we can just continue ticking down this little program and see where it gets, which I hope is Daniel Bryan just winning. That's what we want now. That's what we should do. But this did a nice job. I ain't got no problems with it at all. Interview with Charlotte after this, and I've got to say, I absolutely love the feud between Charlotte and Becky Lynch. And everything Charlotte said here, I just thought it tied into the story. I don't know whether you like her, I don't know whether you dislike her, but I completely believe every word that she's saying, and it all makes sense. Said she's not going to apologise for working hard, that Becky Lynch could never win the big one, and even made a diss towards WCW, and I always enjoy a diss towards WCW because it makes my heart sing. I miss WCW, well, when it was good, and it's always nice to hear those words on my WWE programming. Anyway, we're getting a title match later, and basically, Charlotte don't give two shits about Becky Lynch. She should have been good. That's how Charlotte sees it. You should have been good, Becky Lynch, and you weren't. I was good. Now I'm holding this shiny belt. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe then continued to have one of the best things I've seen on WWE television in a while. It gets enough. Started with AJ coming to the ring and telling Samoa Joe, look man, you can't beat me. I don't want to wait till the pay-per-view, so you get your ass in this ring right now and we're going to have a big fight and I'm going to show you why I am the WWE champion. He didn't do that. There was no wiggling by AJ Styles, but AJ, if you're watching this, the AJ wiggle, I tell you, get on, merchandise, get one of those hula toys. Don't have to pay me. Well, you do, 5%. The Samoan one refused to come out there, though, because he was on the big screen, and guess what he did? That's right, he got his cell phone out of his pocket, and he rang Wendy Styles and said that he was going to go with her to the back-to-school brunch, barbecue, whatever it was, but also that he'll see her next Tuesday. Isn't Samoa Joe great? Isn't he just such an asshole that you kind of want to hate, but also like because he's so good at his job? Yes, he is. Obviously, that pissed AJ Styles or something fierce. He ran to the back, and he almost punched a security guard, but he didn't because he's the babyface and the good guy. But I love this feud. No, Joe, he's just a massive dick, but he's meant to be a massive dick. And AJ Styles is the forlorn babyface. That's wrestling. Charlotte versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship was our main event of the evening. You know what? I'm going to say this. In my memory, this was the best match Carmella has had since being on the main roster. Gonna get it up. As is no surprise, Charlotte got booed as the crowd continued to chant, we want Becky, because we all want Becky, because we're well and truly behind Becky. And yeah, this was just a decent back and forth that eventually ended, of course, with Charlotte retaining. I mean, she absolutely dominated at the end. She hit a spear, she hit the natural selection, then she locked in the figure of eight, and that was that. Carmella tapped, and I would imagine now she flutters away from the title picture so we can focus on Charlotte and the person that then ran down, Becky Lynch. She attacked Flair from behind as the crowd went absolutely ballistic, and once she was done with her destruction, she just looked at her and said, you bitch. Now, I don't know about you, but that is a pretty cool and a pretty badass thing to say, so maybe, just maybe, WWE has decided not to turn her full heel and just make her more of like an edgy character and see where it goes. And if they do that, I think it's going to work really well. It's also important to note that as SmackDown went off air, yes, Charlotte was getting booed pretty loudly, but let's just wait and see what happens as this continues on throughout the weeks and hopefully throughout the months. I really dig it. Which brought us to the end of yet another episode of SmackDown. I just thought it was really entertaining from start to finish. Nothing massive happened, but everything that did happen just ticked along nicely, apart from maybe all the weird stuff with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. I mean, I enjoyed it, but here I am a few hours later, and I've still got no clue what they were talking about. It was like really, really weird poetry. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's SmackDown. Like, share, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. This was Ups and Downs for SmackDown, and for everyone that does send me messages about my arm, as you can see, slowly getting there. Well, not really. It's not doing anything, but you know, you just got to believe, you got to stay strong, and I know that soon, wait for it, look at that, it does move. Maybe in a few more weeks it will move some more, and then we can get back to kicking some ass. I'll see you soon.